Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. Today's topic is one that affects almost all of us: how social media messes with beauty standards. Today, we're going to explore how platforms like Instagram and TikTok shape the way we see ourselves, often distorting what we think beauty should look like. We're going to dive into the positive and negative effects of social media, insights from artists like Vic Mensa, I don't know who that is, but we're going to see who it is, and NLE Choppa. And of course, we'll unpack what all of this means for your self-esteem and your self-worth. I am Dr. Lene Javette, brilliant business coach, monetization strategist, and I'm joined by a host of other beautiful queens and our king at this point. In our court, we have a standing king. So I have Miss Black Hollywood, who is our executive producer, actor extraordinaire. She is a woman of many talents. The Dr. Alicia Watkins, who is a social worker. She is a mom. She is a therapist. She does all things. We have Joe Corley, who is a therapist, and we have Noma Lenga. I wanted to, you just pronounced it correctly offline, but I'm going to get it right by the end of the day. Founder of the M3 programs, marriage, motherhood, and money-making philanthropist. And so in the chat, let me know how you're doing today on this last day of the new year. We're going to go into the video first so that we can actually open this conversation with Vic and Choppa, and then we're going to dive into the conversation.
What are some common misconceptions about dating in 2024?
I feel like people haven't changed, you know what I'm saying? Like men and women, you know what I mean? We interact the same, but I do think that social media has like changed how we see each other. Maybe like people got a lot of misconceptions about themselves, like standards of beauty, I think, are a common misconception in 2024. That like a woman has to be, you know, this plastic surgery image, you know, in order to be beautiful. Like that's a huge misconception. Or that men only like women with a BBL or something like that. Not to obviously shame anybody with it, you know what I mean? I'm with it, I'm not with it, you know what I mean? However it go, you know, but that it needs to be like that for a woman to be desirable, I think that's a misconception.
I think you hit it right on the nose, because I'm still the person that's grateful for them stretch marks. You feel me?
True.
They call it the road map. You feel me? Get to read that motherfucker. They go to go. You feel me? So I think that's huge. You know what I'm saying? People living in a society to where we're trying to be deemed as perfect, and you know, God don't even want you perfect. He just wants you as you.
He said, there go to gold. I was like, yes, bro, yes. So, okay, so everybody on this panel is a mother. You don't have to tell your business. You don't have to talk about stretch marks and nothing like that. But when you see that, you hear that, what are your thoughts? What do you think when you, Dr. Alicia, when you see and hear, these are younger men too, talking that talk? And so let's just start with the appreciation for the natural body first. How did you feel when you saw that that video?
Let me tell you, that was so refreshing to see. It was great to see all these positive statements. I mean, I look at Kim Kardashian. She's got like one of the most followers on Instagram, but she's selling these bras with the nipples in them already. Like that is so gross. Like, okay, I'm a 50-year-old woman with 3 children. Like, that's not realistic for me. I love that there's some counter to that. But if you look at how many millions of followers she has, and even her sister, Kylie Jenner, she has a ton of followers. And I can't imagine all the images you see from those women who never talk about the plastic surgery that they have. I mean, even I was remembering Kylie Jenner, she was selling that lipstick that makes your lips bigger, but she had lip fillers. But she's marketing her lipstick as if buying that lipstick would make your lips look like that, when she had fillers put in. And so I just think we need to be a little bit more honest, some of these people, about the plastic surgery that they have. But this is beautiful. Applause to these young gentlemen. I hope that goes viral.
Me too. What about you, Miss Black Hollywood? How did you feel when you saw that clip? What did it make you think about?
It was definitely refreshing. You know, living in Hollywood and being around, being in a kind of a bubble where people are getting plastic surgery regularly and passing it off like it's not. You know, people feeling the pressures of needing to look a certain way to stay on television or stay relevant or to get fame. It's refreshing to see that men are not checking for that because to me, I feel like living here and trying to date, men are looking for the Kim Kardashians. So when I walk in, it's not even, it's like, they're not saying your lips aren't done, your butt isn't plumped or whatever. They're just looking for those types of women. And so, both worlds exist for sure. And so, but it's refreshing to see young men, young rappers especially say, yeah, but we don't want that. We want the stretch marks. You feel me? We want to. We love that.
No, Malinga, are you still international? You're not back. You're not back in the States, are you?
In and out all the time.
Yeah. So what is it? What are the thoughts abroad, not here in the United States, with around this conversation of natural versus non-natural?
So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but there's nothing like abroad.
Okay.
Everybody watches Kim Kardashian here, is
Really?
influenced by her. Yeah, we live in a global world now. There's nothing that you're going to see on TV, at least for me, when I'm in the US and when I'm here. I mean, I just finished watching that new Tyler Perry movie with Kerry Washington, and everybody's talking about it. So there really isn't like a bubble that we live in and the standard that we have that's different from when I'm in the US. But I also was surprised to see some young men just appreciating us in our natural, the way that we're just natural. And I do have it on good authority that actually most healthy masculine men just like women natural, as close to natural as possible. Everything that we do to ourselves, I think we do just for ourselves. But if you're talking about being attractive to men, I've never met a man who said, I'd like her to have a BB. He might say, I want her to have a big butt, but he wants it to be natural, not artificial, or whatever it is. It's not about doing something fake. That hasn't been my experience.
Okay. In the chat, I saved the king for last, but let me know in the chat, which way do you lean? This is not a shaming conversation. This is not a disrespectful conversation. There's just perspectives. We're just having a conversation. But let me know in the chat, if you are a man, which way do you lean? If you are a woman, which way do you lean? Joe. Jazz hand Joe. What are your thoughts on the natural versus non-natural as a man, and what do you hear about on the barbershop or when you're with your homies, which I'll talk about?
When I'm with my homies, let me see what we talk about. First of all, I agree with those men. You know what I mean? I hope they're being genuine. I really hope that they mean that because, you get on social media and that seems to be like the starter pack, the norm, the kit. Starts. They all have the BBLs and the breast jobs and the baby hairs and the eyelashes and then as a teacher, I started to see that. Well, not the BBLs, but all the rest of that stuff being implemented with the young girls. Like it's a generational thing, and now they're all out there. And I'm just wondering to myself, like, who told y'all that was attractive? Like those super long eyelashes and them eagle wings or whatever who told y'all that was attractive? Because it's not. But yeah, natural bodies for sure. That I mean, as natural as possible. But also you want a woman to be comfortable with who she is. Like that lack of confidence can be a super huge turnoff. So whatever it is that you need to do to feel good about yourself, that's overall the number one thing. But if you can do that naturally, that's even better.
So Joe brought up a great point, right? So there's social media, and you're seeing that the majority of the women on social media these days have the big butts and they have the big breasts and they have the contacts and the eyelashes and the hair. And so women are seeing these things as what is beautiful. And that does play on a woman's confidence because they may think that they have to have that same appeal when they step out into the world. So how do you feel about social media? Let me take it. Is social media the thing that is impacting a woman's view on beauty, based on what she may think it is, and that's impacting her confidence? Or does she already lack confidence and now she's seeing this thing? I'm going to give this to Dr. Alicia. What do you think?
I think absolutely it's impacting a woman's confidence. Social media, there have been studies done on this where on teenagers or teenage girls, where they looking at social media all the time and they're comparing themselves to this idea that's being put forth on social media, where there's filters, where there's editing and Photoshop, and they aren't real anyway. But they've done studies where they'll take their phones away, shut their social media off, and then, believe it or not, their image of themselves and their view of themselves instantly elevates. So it is having an effect on them. Hopefully there'll be some more regulation somehow to kind of, put some limits to how social media is impacting young girls. This is the impact it has for young girls, but I imagine it's the same for all of us. We all are grown women, but of course, how could we not be impacted by what's being held up as beautiful and wonderful and comparing ourselves to that as well?
All right, I know we got to go to break, but I want to finish this line of questioning with Hollywood, Tiara. How are you seeing this confidence piece playing out in Hollywood around the BBLs, where it's demanded that you have to look a certain kind of way?
I don't think it's a demand. I think, like Dr. Alicia said, women are taking their cues from one another. So somebody said, whether it's Kim Kardashian, people looking around, I think they're getting around in these circles with these women, and they're looking at them saying, like, this is what is esteemed as beautiful. Like, people look at Kim Kardashian. If you notice, like, and I'm not going to say certain people, but I notice, like, people that tend to be around the Kardashians, they look to them as the standard. And then you have these Black girls that hang around them regularly who are starting to kind of, like, they already naturally had it. Like, but for some odd reason, it's like, well, this is what's deemed as beautiful. This is what society is saying. So I just say, I know that women are doing, a lot of our favorite actresses are definitely going and having afternoon facelifts. They're doing all these things, and you guys on the other side are saying, man, they're so beautiful. Black don't crack. It's like, no, Dr. Truesdale is doing his job, right? And so, I just it's like, it's so fake. I feel like social media is so fake, and unfortunately it takes people with them and makes it, with AI, with social media, it's like we don't know what's real and fake anymore. So I was saying this yesterday on the show, that I really strive to just try to live in authenticity. You know what I mean? I try, like, even looking around, I'm like, do I need to put some fillers in I don't know. I mean, I don't need to, but I'm saying, like, I could see how you could look and be like, dang, I mean, I guess, I want but I'm not going to do it.
You don't need it. You beautiful. Black don't crack.
I mean, I'm not going to do it, but I'm saying you do. I could see how you would look and be like, well, I mean, she looks beautiful. Whatever.
You don't need it,
Anyway,
Tiara. You're fine the way you are.
You look good, girl. You look good. All right, we're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I am the proud producer of this show. So I hope that every day when you join us, you leave a little smarter than you came, because that's the point. Otherwise, why are you watching? So if you want to receive notices for when we go live, Fly Nubian Money goes live every single day. That's Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't know, now you know. All you have to do is text the word Queens. That's Queens. That's Queens to 87948. That's 87948. That's Queens to 87948. Yes. If you want.
Again, just in case you didn't get it, it's 87948. Text the word Queens to 87948. So you can get notifications when we are here and we are live. You can join us. So, would you ever get any work done? We'll start with you, Joe. I don't know what kind of work men do. Listen, men is getting work done. I seen a man with a BBL the other day.
Yes.
Lord, I was like, stay it ain't so.
Or getting hair. I know men get hair implants.
Men is getting hair
God.
weaves. Men is getting hair weaves right now. Like they slapping it on. You don't got to be bald no more if you're a man.
Yes, I seen a man in Atlanta with a BBL. I saw tons of them actually.
Would
I
you get
miss.
anything done, Joe?
I
And
miss
it's okay if you
And
do.
it's okay. Yeah, it's
No
again,
shame.
this is
No
not a
judgment,
debating
Joe.
conversation. We're just having a conversation.
y'all crazy. Listen, man. If I miss having waves, I miss those days. You know what I mean? If I could somehow get those back, I might be tempted to do it. Or you might mess around and see me come out in some braids. I might have some cornrows next week if I could get it done.
There's a lot of them doing it.
Yeah,
There's a
but
lot of men, a lot of masculine men are getting the braids or the locks or the updos, the man buns. There's a lot of them that's doing that.
in all seriousness, men have insecurities too, and I'm sure if there was some surgeries that could be performed, a lot of men would undergo those. You know what I mean? Especially those men who have size insecurities. With the southern regions.
They junk. They Johnsons.
they could go as quickly as y'all fly down to get them BBLs, they get them BDLs. So hey, but me personally, I'm good. I'm not gonna do none of that. But I know some men have insecurities too, and if they could probably do some of those things, they would do them.
Okay.
For me either.
What about you, Dr. Alicia? Would you get anything done? And by anything, it could be anything. It could be Botox. It could be anything.
And let me tell you, even my daughter was like, "Girl, you need some Botox." That's what my daughter was telling me. I need some Botox. I'd like to grow old gracefully. But if I did get some work done, I'm not going to hide it. I'm going to own up to it. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I haven't gotten any yet, I will say. But if I ever felt like I needed to, it wouldn't be anything that I would be ashamed of. And I think that's the thing, don't do it where you think that, oh, there's something wrong with me, inherently wrong with me, and I must fix it. Some people just get hyper focused on this one thing. And it's weird because I'm looking at pictures of myself from like maybe 20 years ago. And I'm like, dang, I thought I was fat back then. It was like before I had children, I thought I was fat, and I wasn't. I just remember back then thinking, oh, if I could just lose 10 more pounds. But now looking at those pictures, I'm like, I wish I could shoot. I remember that. This is all before I had children. So it's not even realistic to see yourself in this way. I'm just going to grow old and just own whatever comes my way. I will say genetically, some people in my family, they don't tend to really get very wrinkly, but I'm going to embrace it if it happens. I've got wrinkles, but very wrinkly, I'm just going to embrace it. That's what I'm going to tell myself.
Okay. What about you, Miss Black Holly? What's on your agenda for maintenance, upkeep?
I'm not above a little, I mean, I'm not above it if I feel like I want to do it maybe in 20 or 30 years or whatever, if the Lord still has me on this earth. But I do have an issue with grandmas wanting to be their grandchildren. I feel like there's something about, like you said, Dr. Alicia, getting older and kind of earning it. Like aging is a privilege and nobody wants to be old anymore. I see grandmas twerking online. They getting all the way pushed and snatched back. It's like, who's the women with the wisdom around here? You know what I mean? So I'm just going, I'm not trying, because even now I think you start to notice like, okay, there's some things like that ain't the same since I turned 20, but I'm kind of okay with it. Now I'm cool with it. I'm like, I like that. That give me a little, now these gray hairs. No, I got the Beijing on deck. We ain't ready yet. I got the Beijing on deck. Every morning I'll be like, ooh, let's just put this there.
Oh my God. The grandma's the baby. I love that.
Other than that, we good.
So I haven't had like work done. I've done a couple of things though. I've had a breast reduction. So I had something taken off, nothing added, but that was for myself. And then I've had, I don't even know how to explain it. So it's not artificial, nothing artificial. I haven't done anything artificial. I don't even know what this thing is called, but it's like to plump your butt. They put this little suction thing on them and it like goes like this and it does muscles in it. Up. That's all I've done so far. Nothing too crazy, just a little thing. And I just don't, I don't know. I don't think I can't see myself doing anything. I'm scary. I did not want to have a C-section because I didn't want to have no surgeries. I was like, I don't want to be cut. I'm scary. So, but I've had my throat cut for my cancer, the thyroid cancer. Had a hysterectomy. I've had LASIK. I've had my eyes cut. I'm straight. I feel like I'm good. I don't need nothing else. If it's not mandatory, I'm straight. So I just go to the gym. Like I want a BBL. I want it. I want it. I want it. But I'm
It's
just
ugly.
Well, I want J-Lo's though.
Okay.
That natural. Here's the thing about BBLs. I'm not mad at you for getting one. I just don't want to know it. I want to be able to like, damn, ooh, that's a good work. I can't even tell. It's the ones where it be sitting like up on their back, or they put it on their hips. Like, I don't want you walking around looking like the Elephant Man. I want you to look nice. If you're gonna get it done, do it in a way where, you know what I'm saying, it's nice and complimenting. And I want to be curious, like, damn, that's good work. That's the piece. I don't understand how sometimes somebody does something to make themselves look better, but then they overdo it. That's the piece that I think that's when I can tell somebody's confidence. The ones who get it done a little bit here and there, their wedding day, they're doing something accent, just a little bit of something natural, boom, I get it. They move on about their business, they go to the gym, they keep it. The ones who get it done and they just overdo, I think that those are the ones where I'm like, okay, I see your confidence. I see your confidence stick hanging out. I think we got to go to a commercial. Okay. Let me know if we need to go to commercial.
2 minutes to commercial.
Okay. So, so Joe, you weren't dating back, or you were not on the scene when BBLs and just, I won't say the standard of beauty. I will more so say all the different things that a woman feels makes her beautiful. Because it's not just BBLs. It's the weave. It's the baby hair. It's the eyelashes. It's all of those things. As a man, and I've heard this in a joke before, as a man, have you ever turned a woman away due to any of those things?
I have never turned away, but for any of those things, but I've never seen any of those things on a woman that I was attracted to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the ego. I don't like none of that stuff. You know what I mean? That's just me. I mean, if you've got somebody that, you know, that loves it, then you go ahead and go that way. But I never looked at it like, man, I wish my wife had the BBL or the eagle wings or any of those things. Like, I'm definitely still very much attracted to the woman, the way she's constructed already. When I say the woman, I mean my woman, the way that she's built and constructed already. I'm still very much attracted to that, and I don't need any of those extras. You know, that it just don't look. I just don't like it. I'm trying to say it without like being insulted to the women who got it because they feel like they need it, but I just don't like it, and I feel sad. Like, I look at Lil' Kim, and I'm like, Lil' Kim was super beautiful before she did anything to herself. Now I can't even look at her now. You know what I mean? Like, she was beautiful, and she did all that stuff to her body and her face, and she's just unattractive now. She's just like an old lady trying to keep up. You know, so that's what I equated to.
Vivica's another one. That chick, I just seen her the other day. She was. I watched that movie. Two Could Play the Game. I think it was. She was in it. Or I saw that movie, and then I saw the one when she's with her and Gabrielle. She's like, okay, that she was.
It was fun.
It's just
look crazy to me.
Yeah, but all right, we're gonna go to commercial. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna go to a video where we're talking about the standard of beauty for Black women specifically. So let's do commercial, and then we'll come back and watch that video.
You want to grow your money and not blow your money, as Constance says, check us out at flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, programs, videos, resources. In 2024, there's no reason to be broke when there's information all around us. So get your money right. flynubianmoney.com.
So get your money right. flynubianmoney.com. I feel like Joe should just be like this when we come back from the break. So he'd be ready to come on. There There we go. Yeah. Y'all see, I got fans that match whatever I'm wearing. This is how you know when you. Anyways, let's go to the video. Let's go to the video with the black ladies talking about the standard of black women specifically.
And have you noticed, the standard for black women to be well kept is higher for any other type of woman? Oh my God. It's like to be deemed as a good looking black woman, you have to be 10 out of 10, 7 days a week, 24/7. And we are not given the grace, not that we need to be given it, but we don't have a relaxed, casual look where we're still rated 10 out of 10.
Nope.
You have to be looking red carpet ready all the time. And that's because a lot of people treat black women as something that you have to be in awe with.
Yeah.
Man, I have this conversation all the time as a black woman. We hair got to be laced. You don't listen like not nothing. You don't see a strand of hair because it is laid down. The edges is tight. We don't like hair out. A messy bun. Get out of here. We got why is that? Why do you think that is, Dr. Alicia? What happened to us that made us feel like we have to be on point at all times?
I see this a lot with a lot of black women, and it's funny. In my neighborhood, I live in a predominantly white neighborhood. Nobody cares. Everybody wear their messy bun. No one really cares. But I do see some women who I know in my neighborhood who bring that forward into this space, and it's just like no one really cares. I wear my messy bun. I feel like no one treats me any different. So I do notice that there is this kind of pressure. Like there's some friends of mine that has to have their nails done all the time. Like they can't even leave the house unless they have their nails done. And I'm just looking at them like nobody cares. No one really cares. You can wear, they're rich white people be having on flip-flops, jogging pants, raggedy shirt, messy bun, and they got a ton of money and they don't have to wear their money. So, I mean, it is sort of these messages that you get growing up. I get it. I totally understand. It's like, don't leave the house without your hair looking a certain way. It's these pressures that our grandmamas, I love you, Tiara. The grandma's the baby. The grandma's the baby. To look a certain way, you have to present yourself in a certain way. I love that, actually. I think put your best foot forward is always wonderful. And, but I think it's important to like pay attention to that, your surroundings. Like it's not like that. However, my brother went to Howard University back in the 90s, and he talked about how women couldn't go to class without having their little mink and their little fur. So it's environmental sometimes that you have to show your money like that. It's a quite interesting dynamic. And it's tough when I see my children weave in and out of these spaces and how they adjust and see themselves. I spent 5 months in Guyana, and I've never seen all the kids, all of us felt good about ourselves because everybody looked like us. We were the standard of beauty, but then we got plucked back from that and plucked into this other way of being. And it's just interesting. There's no solution to it. All you can do is notice it and talk about it with your family members. Say, have you noticed how you feel about yourself? When we lived in the all black country, we were the white. We didn't see white. I did not see one white person for 5 months unless I wanted to. I had to seek them out. What was that like for you all? So I'm just trying to have a process where you can just sit and talk about and reflect on your behavior. And then like, where is this coming from? Like question yourself, have some self-awareness and insight. All right, that's it for me.
I love it. What about you, Namalinga? Can you hear me? Can you talk back to me? I can't. You might be on mute. I can't hear you right now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There you go. Good job.
I might have missed the question though when I logged back in.
Did you see the video?
The first or the second?
The second one. With the young lady talking about this black women, the standards that we hold.
I saw it earlier. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we were just talking about why is that? Why is it, and or why do you think and or feel that black women have to present themselves that way? Is that what you're seeing where you are, where women have to be at a 10 at all times? Hair has to be done, nails have to be done. We have to present ourselves. I'm not going to say as perfect, but definitely well kept and put together.
So a 10 is kind of like what is natural. And I feel like when people do something to themselves, they're trying to look like how we look when we are natural, like the full lips, people tan, put on extra butt. All of that is how we actually look. So you do get sometimes people do try to exaggerate it, I think. But for the most part, if I'm here in Botswana, you actually do get women putting on weaves and doing extra things, but this doesn't change the fact that the standard is the standard, and they're trying to attain a standard, which is how we look when we're actually just natural.
Yeah, I get that. What about you, Tiara? I like to ask because a lot of times, a lot of these standards come out of Hollywood. They come out of New York. They come out of celebrityism. They come out of actors and things of that nature, and then it dwindles down. I think I'll give the other side of social media. We are in a world now where before you would not see a celebrity without their face on, but now due to social media, you can see Taraji or somebody online having a conversation with no makeup on at all. Mm-hmm. So while 10 is still the standard for a Black woman, you still should be, primped and pressed and together. We are also seeing a place where we're going against the code and we're just stepping out. And I'll even say this: I have noticed when I'm less put together, like if I don't have no makeup on, if I'm just my videos, my engagement do way better on my social posts than when I'm completely put together. What are you seeing? What do you think about that?
You know what's interesting is that even applies to like production, right? I'm a production girl. I've worked for probably all the studios at some point in time doing something, but working in production. And when I remember trying to create content for the web, and I'm just using this as an example, but I was like, it just has to be the best, and it has to be perfect, and it has to, I can't just be in the living room just chilling. But what I noticed is that there is a space on the internet, like you said, where people just they just like things to be taken down. Everything doesn't have to be produced and processed. And so there is a space where people can get on and be themselves. When I'm looking at TikTok, people are making videos and making lots of money, by the way, just in the bed without no makeup on, just talking. And so I think that there's a lot of us that are just looking for that. I think we see so much of like the pull together BBL. Everybody's just like, what's the opposite of that is becoming, I think it will, especially moving forward, be what people want. Like, I just want to go against all of that and just be in a natural state. So I think people are coming to appreciate that a little bit more.
I think so too. Joe, I'm looking at these comments over here talking about basement BBLs and what a man wants and what a man doesn't want. We were kind of having this conversation earlier. When women put themselves together and they get dressed, and whether it's a BBL or perfection or eyelashes or baby hairs, I've heard men say that women are dressing for women, that they're not dressing for men, because a man isn't looking for those things. Now, a man does not want you to come out in your bonnet. Maybe some men do, but I get that a man doesn't want you to come out in your bonnet. But what is the standard for a man? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that women get dressed and look good for men, or do we look good to compete with old girl that's standing next to us?
I'm gonna say, for me, from my lived experience, I'm gonna say that it's probably they're getting dressed for other women, because it seems like no matter what, and like how many times over and over I tell my wife she looks good. You know what I mean? Like, that seems to not register at all times. You know what I mean? It's more like, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I'm like, for who? You know what I mean? Because I like what I'm looking at. So, whatever the standard is being set, either in society or online, I really believe that a lot of women are keeping up with that, as opposed to, talking to men about what they actually want and what they're actually attracted to. Because like I said, me personally, I see a lot of these things and they're just not attractive, like, at all. So I'm really wondering, like, I'm seriously asking, the chat, you can answer if you want to, who told y'all that some of that stuff was attractive? Who said it? And where did it come from? I really genuinely want to know, because it wasn't me.
He said, because it wasn't me. I think that people are seeing it. People see this person, celebrity or whomever, getting these things done, operating this way, putting themselves together a certain kind of way. And then they see the attention that they get, good, bad, or indifferent. They see that they're getting flued out. They might see that they're getting social media engagement. They might see that they're getting, men or women or whatever the case might be. They see these things and they want to emulate it in their life. And so they feel like the only way to have that is if they also do these things. And so then it becomes a trend, not so much so that somebody said it, but because they saw somebody else do it and they saw what that person got because of it. Now that plays on their ability to date or to go, move along in life. And now they feel like they also need it, which comes back to.
Let me say something else, because you're like, if you are a man and you start to comment on some of these things, then it becomes like the male gaze or whatever, right? So that's another piece of evidence that says, oh, you didn't dress this way for me. Like what was it for? You know what I mean? Because if I'm a man and I like it, I may be wrong. You know what I mean? These are some of the things that I'm hearing as I consume. I mean, I'm consuming a lot of media. I'm listening to a lot of women, and I'm trying to gain understanding, and then, listening and taking in what that male gaze is. Okay, so I'm in the gym. I put this outfit on. I'm definitely attempting to look cute with this outfit on, and I go to the gym, and if a man happens to look at me, I'm just working out. Why are you looking at me? Why are you coming here looking all cute if I can't look at you? You know what I mean? Like,
first of all, the gym is a great place to meet a good man.
Well, okay.
Okay.
A man that works out, can't afford a gym membership, is about his health.
Okay. First of all, what's second of all? Second
First of all,
running. You know what I'm saying?
That hit home, Joe.
I'm just saying.
So that's why you got your two-piece on when you know.
No, actually, oddly enough, when I go to the gym, I don't wear makeup. If I go in the morning, I have no makeup on when I go to the gym. If I go in the afternoon, I might have face on, but I really hate it because I don't like sweating through my makeup. So the gym is one of those places I can appreciate being natural. I'd be looking at people sideways like, why should I have full face of makeup on the gym?
Are you wearing a big old baggy sweatpants and basketball shorts? Or are you putting on them things?
No, I'm usually gonna have on a tank top and some gym shorts, some gym pants. I don't be wearing the booty shorts to the gym. I'm not hanging out like that. Like I represent my brand everywhere I go, even at the gym.
Just making sure.
Yes. I appreciate you though. All right, so let's go to chat. Let's go to commercial. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do our last video, and then we're gonna come over to you guys in the chat because I see it's on fire. So let's see what y'all talking about. So let's go to commercial. When we come back, we'll go to our last video, and then we will see what y'all talking about in the chat.
Fly Nubian Money is now on Spotify. Yes. We are on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. All you have to do is search Fly Nubian Money and we will appear. All of our episodes. Make sure that you leave a 5-star rating and review so other people that come along and are looking for a good show to watch, they'll follow us too. If you are interested in being on Fly Nubian Money, sorry, I don't have any spaces. I'm just playing. If you are interested in being a queen or a king on Fly Nubian Money for the day, please reach out to me. I'm at info@realvirtual.net. That's info@realvirtual.net. Also, if you need help with your business, go ahead and send me an email for that too. Okay. I've said enough. Now back to the show.
We bees back. Our queen over here, the goddess Athena, said the gym is not a good place to meet a man. I disagree. Now, this is not to anyone specifically. I'm just gonna break it down for you. This is not to anyone specifically. If you are at Planet Fitness for $9, you are not gonna meet a good man. If you are at Heels for $9, you're not gonna meet a good man. Okay, maybe Lifetime Fitness for $24.99 a month. Maybe. I pay $180 a month at my gym. So if he's spending $180 a month to come to the gym, he'll be okay. So let me say, the gym does matter. Gyms do matter. So don't be at EOS.
Tina don't no way. So how would she know?
We're gonna go to that last video. Let's go to that last video real quick.
Athena's not here to defend
herself. Yeah. Joe.
She's here.
I normally get a lot of hate for this video, but I'm gonna say it anyways. If you're a woman of color, if you're a black woman living in America and you feel like you don't fit the beauty standard, the American beauty standards, I dare you, when I say I dare you to book a flight out of this country, out of the United States. Book a flight, okay? And you will see that you're not the problem. The American beauty standard is the problem. It's not you. Because when I went to Mexico with my curly big hair, the amount of people who stopped me and asked me to take a picture, the amount of people who asked me, a black woman with big curly hair walking down the street, enjoying the sightseeing, got stopped multiple times asking for pictures. People were so amazed to see a black woman with big curly hair, especially white folks. I'm not kidding you. The amount of love that I received from them. Okay? The amount of love. So you're not the problem. It's the American beauty standard is the problem. So I dare you, book a flight out of the United States, and then when you come back, you're going to see how the level of confidence changed in your whole entire life. Because this whole time you've been blaming yourself, thinking that you don't fit the American beauty standards, but it's not you. It's the standard of America. Book the flight, sis. Please book the flight, and you will see.
All right, let me go get my credit card so I can book this flight.
Let me get my
No,
wallet
Malika,
out.
tell us. Is that true? Is it better other places for Black women? Should we be booking flights to go someplace else to get?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, tell me what's the difference. Like, what? Why? How?
So I'm about the foundation of how you grow up or where you grow up. If you grew up looking at people who look like you, then there really isn't the problem of trying to look like somebody else, especially if you're the majority. So the beauty standard is set by whoever is the majority, right? So I grew up right up until I was in my late teens around other Black people. We don't even call each other Black. We're just people. We're just people, right? I didn't become Black until I got to America in my late teens. And then that's when, you can see that happening around you, but it doesn't affect you as much because you've already had your foundation set in terms of who you are and how you feel about yourself. Now you can be under pressure. I remember one time I used to be a salesperson, and I worked in the corporate office, wore the suit and everything. And I used to have this long weave, lots of makeup and stuff. And I said to one of my friends, I'm thinking about just going natural. And they were like, oh no, you don't want to scare all the white people at your job, because I was the only Black person. And they felt like if I just became natural and had a little afro and no makeup, and it wouldn't go over that well. And I actually was inclined to agree.
Interesting. What are your thoughts on the standard of beauty abroad versus here, Dr. Alicia? Since you spent those 5 months abroad, you said you felt good. You yourself, who's from America, went to this space and you felt there was difference.
All around, I was instantly way more confident in my skills as a therapist, in my skills as a college professor, because everybody looked like me. All the smart college professors, social workers, they all look like me, and we all related to each other. It was beautiful, comfortable place that I never experienced here in America. Now, that video, she's in Mexico. I don't know. We don't know what people are thinking when they're like, you're so great, I want to take pictures of you. I just know that when I went to China, they had never seen Black people before. And if they saw Black people, they were coming and taking pictures of you without your permission. It was almost like you didn't know if it was like you were more of a novelty than they were like honoring and respecting your beauty, so you don't know what people are thinking. Cause I'm thinking Mexico, okay, I don't know, they were in a more like Guyana or more Black CARICOM country or in an African country, then you would think a different way. So I don't know, but I love her perspective because she could have interpreted that situation any kind of way. She chose to interpret it like, I'm awesome. Who knows what people are thinking when they take pictures of you? But she chose to interpret it in a positive way. And I think we can learn from her interpretation. Listen, we live in a country that's definitely racist. We live in a country that's patriarchal. We live in a country that's individualistic. Anything that comes your way, that's a great example of how you can twist it around and make it work for you. So I'm all for that video and her interpretation. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know if those people were really honoring and respecting her, but interpret it that way.
Yeah, when I heard, I was like, if they, unless they weren't petting her and they weren't saying she looked good, they could have thought she was somebody. But it doesn't matter. The fact that they approached her in kindness with an open hand, I guess that's the takeaway. I forgot what I was about to say. Tia, we want to talk about reality shows and the standard of beauty. I feel like the media and what they showcase and how they showcase it is another determining factor of the standard of beauty. With reality TV coming through now, that's not really real, right? We call it allegedly reality TV. Alleged reality TV that is not really real, but we watch it as if it is real, and as if these are these people's real lives, as they're really going through these things, as if they're really having these medical issues, complications, that they need to really have these surgeries. When a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times when you're in that type of a position, it's to enhance your career. And so the everyday person is sitting watching television, looking at the alleged reality TV, thinking, oh, if I want my real life to look like their real life, I have to do these things. What are your thoughts on that? Is that how you think it's happening, or what do you think?
You know, it's so interesting because what made me think about reality is one time I want to really gauge Nomalanga on this, but like when I watch African shows that are on Netflix that feel very much like American reality TV shows, I don't know if you watch them on Netflix or if you got to, like been able to see some of the influence that I see from America to Africa. So I really want to get your insight on that. But when I'm thinking of reality television, obviously it's not real. I spent 12 years producing reality TV. And one day I kind of had to look up and say, like, what am I contributing to? Like, what is this? Like, what? Because people just wanted to be famous. They just wanted to get their 15 minutes of fame so they can take it and run with it and create products around it. It was very strategic, right? But when I start looking at reality TV as a whole, I felt like it was helping women not have good conflict resolution skills. I feel like there's an issue. Like I was getting my hair done watching Zeus one day. That's what they were playing. And I was just like, the women literally would walk in the door. There's no storylines. They just start fighting. Right, they just start fighting and pulling each other's hair. In auditions, the girls have to fight. I said this yesterday on the show. And I said, well, how is this affecting? And those same girls with long weave, hella attitude, lashes, lace fronts on television representing the Black woman going, I mean, I just had to beat that bitch's ass. And I was like, what am I watching? Right? It was awful. So I think that also influences Black women, unfortunately, and the way the world sees us. And so yes, I think it's toxic, it's negative, it's not real. So you guys know, we can, if Alicia has an issue with Lene, I'm gonna put the two of them in a room after having lots of hours of interviews with them and puts alcohol in the middle and say, let's see how this plays out. Right? So it's all strategic.
Wow. Do you watch? Sidebar. I love African movies. I love Netflix. Thank you so much, Netflix, for opening that up. It's a whole nother world.
African movies, yes, but I was interested in like the reality show part of it because I know it's not real, but it's like it's so interesting how I just think of like face lightning and all the things like that I've seen on the girls have, and I'm like, this looks like an American show. This looks like Real Housewives of Atlanta, but they're in.
Are there differences in Nomalanga? Like,
yeah, it's like I said earlier, like, we now live in a global world. And the same influences that you will find, like, for example, when I was in Boston, I was living in suburban Boston, so I was extremely sheltered, right? But if I went to like New York City, for example, what I see there in a big city would be what I see here in the major cities here. But if you're living, outside of town, more rural or more suburban, people are acting normal. I mean, even when you go to LA, I've been to LA, it's like, it's like you're walking around like this because you're seeing so many, well, to me, it felt like a lot of strange looking people. And I just, it seems like it's a fantasy world that they live in, and they have to enter that fantasy when they step out of their houses. But I don't know, people are acting normal, people are being normal until you go to the very metro areas, and then that's when it just takes it to another level.
I have one more question for you. What was it like this before social media, or have you seen this happening now that with social media the world is more open? Was it like this when it was just regular TV, cable? Or has Netflix and social media played a part in it?
What's interesting is Dr. Alicia was speaking earlier and talking about the study with the social media and all that. But before social media was magazines, because I remember we used to have these conversations that you can't expect to look like the lady in the magazine. They're not real. They airbrush them. They do stuff to them, or they do whatever. It's the lighting. It's the whatever. So there's always some fantasy that they're selling, whether it's on social media. And if you're, born in the 70s like me, you do remember a time where social media wasn't there, but there were still these fantasy looks that we knew weren't real or were not, the expectation was too high for an ordinary woman. And you'd see it in the magazines, or you'd see it on television, or like on the news, the lady reading the news or whatever.
Okay, I forget. Look, I'm like, I forget about that. We did used to have, there was magazines back in the day. Okay, let's go to our last commercial break, and we're gonna come back and we'll get our final thoughts.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Constance Carter. Where am I? I am on a yacht in the Baltimore Harbor, and I am doing my 7-figure strategic planning solo, baby. I plan on having a 7-figure year. I partnered with the Fly Nubian Money, and we are putting together a training that's going to help you to put together your 6- and 7-figure ecosystem. Yes, there are things that you need to do, strategies you need to put in place so that you can implement and have a 6 to 7-figure year if you don't already have one. If you got a 6-figure year, let's go ahead and get you a 7-figure one. If you got a 5-figure year, let's get you a 6-figure. Let's get you there. Join me, the Fly Nubian Money Club, and let's grow your money in 2025.
Booyah. All right, so flynubianmoneyclub.com, there is the domain down there. Okay, let's go to the chat a little bit. Let me see if there's anything exciting over here in this chat. Let's see any comments that we want to address before we do our final thoughts. Let's see. Somebody was talking about African movies. Let me tell you, I am a Christmas junkie. I love Christmas movies. And the Wesley Christmas is one of the ones I've been watching. I watched when they had the first one. I saw they had the second one. I just thought they went to Africa. And I watched it, and I was so geeked because I knew some of the actors in there from movies that I had watched in Africa. I was like, oh my God, I'm recognizing the actors and stuff. So I love the whole bringing together the cultures and the entertainment and the movies. But I do see it too. Sometimes I'm like, hey, gosh, I got a whole lot of makeup, or that somebody said the wigs aren't good, but that's just that's just what it is. Okay, Big Mac. Women need to go back to the era of Pam Grier and Anita Baker. That's real. I mean, get a little more current
before my
time. Joe. I don't want to get you in trouble with nobody at home, but I got to ask you a question. Since they said that, who would a current standard for you, not for everybody, for you, because we asking you. You said they didn't ask you earlier. I'm asking you now. For you, what would who would we know that would be your standard of beauty? You can't say your wife. We already know that would probably be your first pick, but just somebody that we all would know. Who would be your standard of beauty?
What you say, Tia?
Nothing. Go ahead. They be setting you up, Joe.
Oh yeah, they throw me on it all the time. But no,
they be setting you up, brother. Go ahead.
I would probably say, if I had to get off the top of my head, I'd probably say Nia Long.
Okay.
Because she don't have so you can see her freckles and stuff. I mean, you can see that. I mean, most of it is natural. I hope it's natural. I don't know if it's not, then don't tell me. But
I told you, remember I said that. I want to be curious. I'm okay if you get something done, but make me curious. Like I can't tell.
I like Nia Long.
Okay, that's more current too. I'll rock with Nia Long. You said Pam Grier, Anita Baker, Nia Long. It is. Let's go around and get our final thoughts on this conversation around BBLs, weave, social media influence on the Black woman, maybe your thoughts on it, and an encouraging word, if at all possible. Dr. Alicia, we're going to start with you, and then we will go around the room.
You know, it just dawned on me. I'm going to be talking about this on Monday, on my Mental Health Monday. I'm bringing in Miss Trinidad and Tobago. Y'all know her? She's coming onto the platform, and she is going to be talking about the backlash that she got when she was up for Miss USA, and the fact that her body wasn't super skinny. She looked phenomenal in her swimsuit, but a lot of people, even people from her own country, was giving her a lot of hate about her swimsuit edition. She won Miss Congeniality. Her name, I think, is Jenna. But anyway, I need to talk about this real quick. If y'all to tune in on Monday to watch this, text LOVE to 87948. You'll get a text message and information about how to join us. We're going to meet, and another therapist are going to come on and have a conversation with her about body image, about social media and what that did to her. And she's a beautiful, wonderful woman, has a fantastic body, but she did not fit this super skinny look. So this conversation will be continued on Monday, January 6th. Okay, that's that. Keep it going. But you can contact me at Coaching with Dr. Alicia. Contact me there. And then you can also follow me on Instagram at Coaching with Dr. Alicia.
Awesome sauce. No, Melania, we're going to go to you. Your final thoughts on the conversation and where people can find you. Oh, you're on mute, sis. You're on mute right now.
Are we good now?
Yep.
Okay. I was just saying that I'm a Facebook junkie, so you can always find me on Facebook. Nomalangam Cloudy Moses is my, and then at Instagram, I'm Noma Moses. So I'm always on Facebook though. And if you want to contact me, DM is a good way to get to me. And that's my final thoughts. I just think that it's better if, as parents, and I understand not everybody has a mom and a dad, but as parents, if we have more influence on our children, I think that is what works best. Because I can't imagine at any point asking for either one of my parents, asking them for money for a BBL or anything to alter my body and them going along with it. So that I feel has been something that has helped me, accept myself and understand that the way that I am is the way that I should function in society.
I like that. Joe, what are your final thoughts and where can people find you?
I'm gonna just say this: if you are making decisions to impact your appearance, your outward appearance, based on external validation, you are chasing happiness. And the problem with that is that happiness is temporary and will not be lasting. So you will always have to make decisions and changes based on, trying to receive external validation. And that's just not the way. What you're looking for is eternal validation. You want to do something that makes you feel good about you all the time, not just some of the time or with the confirmation of somebody else's opinion. And to do that, you really need to dig deep and figure out what it is that gives you joy on a consistent basis. And you won't need anybody to tell you anything about you. Now, we're talking about, touching up things that are like long-standing insecurities. Do what you got to do, because you've lived with this for long enough. And, whatever it is that's been bothering you, if you have the ability to change it, I'm all for that. But just make sure that it's about you and not about anybody else. And you can find me at jcorley80 or just my name, Joe Corley, on all social media platforms, or my website, consulting.com. Book an appointment, get in there, and like I said, do some deep digging and figure out where your joy is coming from, so that you won't need to do all these BBLs and butterfly wings to get that external validation. You just be happy with you.
And also, Joe has a show tonight on the Boss Network. Vulnerability is the New Sexy. His podcast is tonight, so make sure that you come through. At what time, Joe? Let the people know.
7 p.m. Central. And tonight we're going to talk about, like, going into the new year, fellas, we're going to talk about porn addiction. So
Dang.
if
You
y'all
get to the roots.
yeah.
Get to the roots.
Yeah, y'all
Get
really
into it.
y'all want to shake that off your back. I'm sitting down with 3 other black male therapists, and we're going to be talking about porn addiction tonight. So
Thank you so much for that topic. That is so beautiful. And it kind of bleeds into what we're talked about today. So we're keeping it going. We got male therapists, female therapists. I love it. Thank you, Joe. That was great.
Yeah. T,
Wow.
what's your final thought?
It's all not real, y'all. Unfortunately, we watch television. You know, I work in the television industry, and I understand that when I'm watching TV, it's all for entertainment. Back in the day, I feel like we knew the difference, right? We could watch something for entertainment. Maybe in the 90s, like I could watch Little Kim like rap all these lyrics and go and be like, okay, you know, I know it's not me that needs to be like anyone else, but somehow, some way, we've hit a space where we believe what's on television, we believe what's on social media, when really, like I think somebody said earlier, it's all just a fantasy. Yes, it's all, yes, get online and escape for a little bit if that's what you need to do, but like, just make sure you're coming back down to real life. Make sure you're really like attaching to things that are real. Because, like I said, when you get online, those things aren't real. These girls are not real. They're chasing something that is not real. And so, hopefully, you are not doing that. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood. I'm the co-creator of the Fly Nubian Money Club. Listen, like Constance was saying, this Saturday, we have another training. Our first training was wonderful. Lala came on and talked about how to acquire real estate, domestic and international. So this time we are talking about how to take your business or take you from 6 to 7 figures. I think it's so important for me to bring these top experts to teach you how to level up. So it's 2020.
All right, she got stuck. Maybe she will come back. I think she's going to say it's 2025. Make sure you get yourself to 6 and 7 figures. I'm sure that was what she was about to say. There she goes. She's back. You're back.
I'm gone. I was talking. I was still. It's 2025. It's time to get you right. Exactly what Lene just said. But it's time to get your money together. So flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a free trial. Come on through. It's Saturday, 10 p.m. EST. Come on. And I'm at Miss Black Hollywood. That's MSBLACK Hollywood. And yeah, come see me.
I love it. So I'm going to end with this. I was watching this it's not a podcast. I was on social media one time, and there was a clip of this dude, and he's taking this picture, and he's on a pillow, and he is saying, the caption is, "I wish you were here," and it's him. And it's like sand. It's like sand behind him, and he's taking the picture. And then there's another person taking a picture of him, and he's in the middle of trash. So he's laying in the middle of trash with just this small little plot of sand, but it looks like he is on some exotic beach somewhere. And that is literally the essence of social media. It is, it's not real. It's filters, it's angles, it's smoke and mirrors. That's what we get. And then we go and we live our lives that way. We do it in health. We do it in our fitness. We do it in our business because we think that somebody's doing something great because they are carrying a particular purse. Well, they rented that purse for that day, for that shoot, right? So the thing that I would leave us with is like, just be authentically you, like love yourself. Don't operate off of what the Joneses are doing, because the Joneses who used to be up the street, who you knew personally, is now social media. So when we say you're keeping up with the Joneses, you're keeping up with people you don't even know now. You don't even know these people. You don't know what's going on in their house. You don't know what's going on in their real world. All you see is the smoke and mirrors. And as a Black people, as a Black community, as Black women, we are better. We are greater. We are more resilient. We are the creme de la creme. Everybody wants to be us as Black women, but as Black people as a whole, as a culture. And we just have to sit in that and be resilient in that and know that we are greater together. We don't have to compete on looks and hair and eyelashes. Compete on heart, compete on community, compete on togetherness, compete on making money together, compete on how can we come together like any other community and move forward, right? I'm Dr. Lene Javette. You can find me at I am Dr. Lene Javette right there. This is Fly Nubian Money. Make sure you text the word 87948 Queens to the word. Text Queens to 87948. Text Queens to 87948 or go to flynubianmoney.com if you want to get any free tools and resources to get your money right. Or go to flynubianmoneyclub.com if you would like to participate in the upcoming class. That is, what Saturday is it? You're on mute.
Next Saturday, whatever this next Saturday is. What's today? What?
I think it's the 4th. I think it's January 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the 4th. Yeah, I don't want to
4th.
start lying, but it's next Saturday, the 4th.
All right, cool. So make sure you guys do that. Happy New Year. The next time we see you, it'll be next year. I'll see y'all next year. With that, be blessed. Stay safe tonight, right? Stay safe. Represent yourself right. Be one and be blessed. We'll see you guys next year. Bye.